So there I was, trying to use internet banking, as I rarely do because I hate using internet banking, because, oh, it's easier, becomes, oh, it's actually 10 times more complicated, difficult, and it malfunctions, because it's all supposed to be automated to try to absolutely remove the necessity for staff. That is, customer-facing staff. Oh, it's all easier online. No, it's not easier online. Oh, it's quicker online. Do I really need things to be instantaneous? No, I never did, and I don't need it now. And frankly, it's not quicker because it always fails. Anyway, the reason I'm making this video today is because on this particular bank's website, up came this little pop-up thing saying a specific function on this website will disappear in the coming weeks. Disappear? It will vanish. It will poof into oblivion. You will have had it, and then it will be gone. We will be removing this functionality. That's how it ought to be stated. Oh, it will disappear. Why are they stating things in such terms? Because the idea nowadays is treat the customer as if they are in a fantasy world of make-believe where things drift into the service that they're using and drift out of the service, and there's nothing they can ever do about it, and they're all little babies, and it's all a fantasy world, and they have no power and no control ever. Don't ever speak to them in a way which is direct. Oh, no. Couch all the things you say in terms which are designed to try to give them an ethereal quality. This functionality will disappear. We don't live in that world. That's not reality. It's a garbage mess, fake presentation, a facade of reality which we have now been exposed to. Now, the reason this has all happened is, as I've said repeatedly before, a specific and particular group of people have tried to impose their will upon everyone on the world, on the planet, in the world. And they've tried to do so through their massive influence in business and banking. It's not the elite, it's not the 1%. It's a specific group of people, and if you do a little bit of research, you'll figure it out for yourself. But you are probably too busy faffing around watching things on Netflix and other media nonsense, which these same people control, and you are just sitting there like a moron, sucking in all of the nonsense which is poisoning your mind and distracting you from the real problem. That's how these people work. And if you're worried about your government's not the problem. It's the people who have created this fake government to run your country that are the problem. Don't hate your country. Don't hate your country's history. Don't hate your country's people. Love your country, invest in your country, but know that ultimately, in order to save your country from these people, they are going to have to be removed from the positions that they occupy. And they're very dangerous people, and they're very powerful people. But essentially, they are rats. They are snakes. They are sneaking little nasty folk who slither through the cracks of this society. That's why they hide. So the end result is we have systems which are run in such a way as are unreliable. When I grew up, a law was a law. Now, in the early 2000s, all of a sudden, laws were stated, or laws, acts, whatever, were stated in very vague terms. You may risk a penalty of blah, 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 blah. No. A law is a law. There's a penalty for it, or there isn't. Oh, but you may have... No, it's not may. It's will or won't. That's law. Law is not spoken in terms such as may, might, maybe, ooh, who knows, ooh. That's a joke. And that's the society that we have. Our society, which was based upon structures which were rigid and controlled and rational, has basically this plastic facade of nonsense has been placed in front of it, and whilst at the same time it's been attacked from within. Okay, the people I'm talking about are parasitic. They have to behave in a parasitic way so as to take over the function of a country. That's what they're doing. It's what they've always done. And you have to see it for what it is. Your country, the systems of your country are still there, but they have been essentially hijacked. Our countries are being hijacked. We can get them back. We will get them back. It's absolutely inevitable. So, for me personally, when I make such videos as these, all I'm doing is getting things off my chest, so to speak. I'm just speaking that which will be. I'd like to encourage other people to get sooner onto the bandwagon of the return to reality. But essentially it's going to happen anyway. And the people who have done this will be exposed, because the problem they have is that they work on lies, and lies alone. And lies have no substance. So a couple of lies might go sort of, ignored or unobserved. But what they have to do when one of their lies is exposed is they have to cover it up with yet more lies, and yet more lies, and yet more lies. And there is a point at which it is impossible for them to hide their lies anymore, and everyone sees it for what it is. And it's exactly this. The metaphor, I'm going to go with metaphor of the story of the Emperor's New Clothes is perfect in this regard. The nonsense goes on for long enough until it's so massively obvious. All it takes is a small thing for it to be completely dissolved and destroyed and exposed. And it's my recollection of that story that the perpetrators of the fraud did get away. And indeed, that sadly might be the case in this instance. What you'd want is for them to face punishment for their crimes. But ultimately, in that story, the way I see it is that the king, who had been sold, or I presume he'd been sold, i.e. he had paid for these imaginary fictitious clothes that he was not wearing. Was not wearing. He just had to sit with the humiliation and recover from that fraud. So essentially no one wins. However, he gets the chance to recover his dignity and return to his position of, to a condition of normality. And I think that's what will ultimately happen in this situation. So when I come across these little things, I'll make a video about them, because they all go back to the same root, the same source problem. We can have our countries back, but we have to be aware of exactly what's going on. There is a sick fraud which is being perpetrated upon nearly every country in the whole world. And you don't have to do a great deal of digging to find out who it is. It's not some ooga booga weird thing. It's a specific group of people who are doing this, and you can figure it out very quickly. All we need to do is to recover our national identities and work on our country's development and recovery. Because at the moment, I'll speak as a British person, as an Englishman. The United Kingdom is in a mess. It is literally in a mess. At some point I'm going to have to improve my video making skills to the point where I can put in examples of what I see around me in my country. I don't want to focus on the negative. I want to focus on the positive. But what I see around me at the moment, I find very upsetting, and I will not allow it to continue. Personally, I take personal responsibility for it. And the more people who do so, the better our country gets. So, we need to stop thinking, oh, the government will fix it. Our government has been hijacked so as to implement these destructive problems in our society. That's why they never do anything about out-of-control immigration. That's probably the number one problem. It's out of control. No matter what your position, I don't care. It's out of control. No one's in charge of it. And that damages the fabric of our society, which is our culture. Our culture holds us together, and it's the only thing we have which enables us to solve these problems. When we have our culture protected and established and nurtured, then we have a country. At the moment, it's literally being attacked by the orchestrated insertion of foreigners into our country in massive amounts. I've no problem with foreign people, no problem at all. A Frenchman, a Chinese person, I don't care. I like them. As individual people, fine. But you don't need millions of them in your country. You just don't need them. You don't need them. It will destroy and undermine your people's ability to feel at home and in control of their own country. And that is what's happening. Plain and simple. You can call me what you want. It will have no effect on reality. The truth is the truth. And this is being orchestrated by the very people I'm talking about, so as to produce around themselves a protective layer of foreigners, of minorities, because they themselves are a minority. So they think, oh well, if we create a situation where there's thousands of minorities, we can just hide among them. And then we use our media influence to tell people, you mustn't touch minorities. Oh, that's bigoted. When the truth is, you need a nation, you need a people, you need an identity of your own, which we've always had. And ours is being attacked by people who are trying to hijack our country. And they are hiding among all of these minorities that they've created out of thin air and introduced into our country through foreign immigration. This is the truth, it is the fact, it is what's happening in our country right now. And you will never get any of these governments that we have all the time at the moment to solve the problem, because whichever way you vote, well, they never do anything, because they're all controlled by these people who have invaded and infected the systems of our country. And this is the truth of what's going on in our country as we speak. As I speak right now, this is happening. And that's why our country's in the condition it's in. These people pull the strings and they sneakily manipulate. It's not open, it's not overt. The supposed leaders we have in our country, they're not leaders, they're just people, they're front men. And if they step out of line, they're gone. And then you have media personalities who are put in place to try to give you a feeling that maybe someone's speaking on your behalf. And if they get out of line, or sometimes it's intentionally orchestrated that they say something out of line, and then they're shot down, so that the puppet who actually was speaking apparently some sense, he was destroyed. So you think, oh, I won't do that. It's all designed to try to subdue you and confuse you and distract you. Don't expose yourself unnecessarily to this poisonous media that these same people control, and then you will free your mind completely. Then you can work alongside me and other people around you to fix this country, to fix the situation. Then we can hold these people accountable, ideally, or at least expose them and show everyone what's going on. Then we can fix the problem. Like I said, this is all inevitable. It will happen in the course of time. But it would be nice to see more and more people getting on board and understanding what's going on, and recognizing they've been lied to, recognizing they've been cheated, recognizing they've been defrauded, so that we can clear away the trash and actually fix this place, which can be done. I have personally stayed in another country for a period of time and observed exactly what is the result, the end result of the plans and intentions that these scummy people have for our country. I won't allow it to happen. I will not allow it to happen. We all need to work together now to fix this kind of thing. That's the plain truth. Stop thinking along the lines of, oh, everyone's got to be protected from... Just get rid of it from your brain. It's nonsense. It was poison from the start. Be an ordinary, authentic, sincere individual. Put your country first, and then it will be able to effectively serve you, and you'll walk around in a country which is beautiful and has good standards within it, which are upheld partly by you. You belong to your country, and your country belongs to you. It's a two-way street. It's not a one-way street. You have to invest. You have to put in. But be careful about these people. Anyways, that's all I got for now.